Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So nice to see you all. Welcome to Carolyn's Corner. It's a pleasure having you all here tonight. As usual, I'm excited about our show tonight. Every time we get to do this and share more talent with you, the more excited I become. Pretty soon, I'm going to be jumping up and down in my chair. I'm going to need a little bouncers on my chair, maybe. Okay, maybe not that excited, but I don't know. It could happen. I'm so glad you joined us. Welcome to Carolyn's Corner Live. Tonight we have another great show planned for you with some wonderfully talented people. But first, let me introduce my I keep using the word wonderful. Let's change it up. Let me introduce my great co-host with the most, Mr. Paul Gallagher. Hi, Paul.
Hello, everybody.
Hello,
I'm
Mr.
so excited to be
Grandpa.
back on the show.
Me too. So, folks, Paul had to miss yesterday because he just became the proud grandpa of a baby girl and a baby girl twins. So
Baby boy and baby girl.
that is so exciting. I cannot believe that your baby had babies. That is
You're
crazy.
telling me? Oh my lord! It's such a surreal moment when you walk in and you see your grandchildren and you're like, wow.
It's
And they're so
crazy,
small.
isn't it?
They're
I
so
know,
small.
I can't even imagine having two of them. I mean, I was just overwhelmed with one, and my step grandbabies, and we love them all so much. We're going to talk about that more in just a minute, Paul. Congratulations! I'm so happy for you and for the whole family. You know those babies are going to be spoiled. But first, Paul, let's bring on our other amazing um consultant slash co-host slash tonight guest. He's a man of
Serious
all.
man.
Yeah, he's doing it all. He can do it all. He can produce, he can sing, he can write, he can be a co-host, he can be a musician, he can be a consultant. You name it, this man can do it, Paul,
Oh, I
I
know.
mean, I thought I do a lot. This man does a lot more than any of us that I know of. Folks,
He
please
has
help me
a lot of
welcome. He does. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Mr. Jerry Bradley. Let me go over here and grab him. These guys are so heavy, it's hard for me to get them. Just kidding. Here we go. Hey, Jerry.
How are you?
Hi, Carolyn. Hi, Paul.
Hi.
Yeah,
How you doing,
Paul.
Jerry?
Congratulations, Paul. Outstanding. And as my present to you, I won't pick on you quite as much tonight.
That's a great gift. That's a great gift, Jerry. But Paul's like, well, wait a minute. I'm going to think something's wrong if you don't pick on me. Right? We're all set in our little ways. Like, oh, what's wrong? What did I do?
Yeah.
Jerry, I'm so excited you're with us tonight, and you have you're going to be serving many purposes tonight. As you know, you're
Yeah.
still our consultant as of tonight. Anyway, we'll talk about
Jack
that
of all
later.
trades. Yeah.
Yeah, my daddy used to say, I know what my dad used to say, but I know you're a master of all of them, is what he so you are a producer, you are a Christian songwriter, you are our consultant, you help others. You just do a lot of different stuff, don't you? You're a busy man, aren't you?
I'm a tad busy.
Yes.
But it keeps us young. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I'm seeing our some of our regulars.
I know,
I
Miss
saw,
Sarah.
yeah, Sarah, and it's funny because I saw Edgar on my page
Did
because
you?
this is playing on when we open up, it's
Yeah.
playing on your Facebook, Carolyn's Corner Facebook page,
Okay.
Paul's Facebook page, my Facebook page, Crystoria
Oh
Facebook
my
page.
gosh.
So it's playing everywhere.
No wonder I'm crazy. I've got me everywhere.
Yeah, I
Wait a
feel
minute.
like
I'm over there and here and here. Oh my
I
God. I
feel
can't
like
handle it.
I've walked into one of those multiplex
Yeah.
theater complexes. We've got it all
We're
over
in-
with,
yeah,
but
we're-
we've got it for our main movie tonight. We have
Yes.
Crystoria.
I
mean,
know.
oh my gosh, you can't
Just
ask for
that
better than
name
that.
is a great title of a movie. It sounds like something you would write a book about, Paul.
I
I'm
might
telling
do
you.
that.
I just thought of that in the city of Crystoria. Yes, it's a city where your fairy dome people live. Oh, but of course we have to get the owner of the name's permission. Maybe I don't know how that would work. So,
Names aren't copyrighted.
yeah, no, that's true. I guess not. So we have so much to talk about tonight. I mean, so many exciting things, and I am beyond. I say this every week, and I know you all know. I hope you believe me when I say I'm beyond blessed. Every time I get to do this is just another blessing that God sends my way and says, "Here, let's show these beautiful people to these beautiful people and let's get you out there. So I would love to bring Crystal on. Let's go ahead and bring her. She has the most beautiful, what is that called? Stage name, Crystoria. Like we were just saying, I think it's beautiful. Her real name is Crystal. We'll ask her when she comes out what she'd rather be called. So let's bring her out right now. What do you say, guys?
I'd say it's great. Let's go.
Right.
Let's
Let's
go to
bring her out.
Crystal.
I'm going to call her Crystal for right now until she tells me otherwise.
Pull her to the side and drop her.
Yes, it's like a one of those candy cane crane games where you go pick them up and you go.
Yeah.
So I'm coming to get you, Crystal.
I'll get her for you.
Okay, help me. Wait. Here she comes. Yay!
Oh, wrong side.
You did it. You got her right where she needed to be, so you could pick her up and bring her over here. Great.
Thank
I never
you
thought
for having me.
You are welcome.
I would be honored if you decided to name a city after me.
Yeah, for real.
There you go. I will write a book, and I'm going to have it named Crystoria.
Because for real, I just thought of that. The weird things that pop in my head. It sounds like a title to one of Paul's books. Paul, did you hear that? Get busy, man. Because he already has a 3-book series, and he is an excellent author. He really is. He writes science fiction books, and these are geared more towards the young adults or adults. And it's just a great series about these. It's just so cool. I mean, really cool, Crystal. Speaking of that, tonight as we're talking, would you rather I call you Crystal or Crystoria? Oh, it's not supposed to have an accent. I can't help it.
Let's just go for it. Crystoria.
Yes, Crystoria. Wow. I'm going to say it like that just because those are my accents that I'm not any good at, but I like to practice them as often as I can. We are so glad you're here with us, Crystoria. Now I got to get my brain around that. Okay, don't call her Crystal. Don't call her. Gosh, I have seen a lot of the stuff that you are doing, and I am just overwhelmed and so impressed by you, young lady. You are such a talented, beautiful, inspiring soul. I mean, you really are. And honestly,
I get to sit here because I haven't heard any of her music.
Yes, I know. Well, you've been busy with the baby.
I know, but and I love that because I come in as a fresh person, just listening to this, and I get all excited, and I'm like,
I know, it's so cool.
I know I'm weird. I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're not weird, but that's how I feel, Paul. A lot of times, and I do this almost every show, Crystoria, I listen to parts of the songs, but I usually don't listen to the entire songs because I want to be just as surprised as the audience is or are.
Right.
English has never been very good with me. They is are. So I want to say welcome to all of our viewers and listeners out there in every land, wherever you may be, whether it be in your house, in your car, we don't even know. The good thing is you don't have to do anything. You just sit here and watch us and listen. We'll try not to make too many mistakes. I'm speaking about myself here. So, Crystoria, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, would you please?
Yeah. So, I am from Ohio. I have been around music for, what feels like all of my life. Grew up around, country music, did a lot of singing competitions and karaoke growing up. And the last several years, God's been just really tugging me to start writing and releasing. And it's just been a beautiful experience to do, just seeing everything that's been pouring out. So I am a mother of 4, wife, songwriter, and then I'm also a mentor for songwriters with social media and just a lot of different things.
Wow. Yeah.
Guitar. You forgot the guitar. She does play the guitar too.
You play the guitar too?
And she's a producer.
I like that.
Paul, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little bit less. Only 2 instruments? Is that all? Is that all you got? When I don't play any Crystoria, I don't. I'm trying. Okay, I'm trying. But it is very hard for someone. And when you get my age, you know that saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks? I'm trying to teach myself, this old dog, some new tricks. And my brain is going, what are you doing? You can't learn. You're too old.
Yeah, I didn't start playing piano until just, I'd say 5-6 years ago.
Wow.
It was just something that I always brushed aside. We always had this big grand piano in our house when I was growing up, and I would play by ear a little bit, but it just was something that I just pushed away. And then finally, I just felt this nudge, pick up that old keyboard. I had a keyboard that my grandma gave me when I was 12, and it stayed in our basement for years. And just one day I'm like, I'm going to get this out and we're going to start playing. And I can tell you the piano has been like, I don't know, like it's like my best friend now when it comes to like writing and
wow.
the other way.
Wow. So you obviously love playing the piano even more than the guitar.
I
Because
do.
I saw some of your videos and I was like, oh my gosh. And gosh, I love what you're doing because your songs are helping so many people. And all of the things that you're doing to help others with the social media, with your Christian songwriting. I mean, all of it together, you're spreading the word of God through the love of music. And that's what our literally, right, Paul? Basically, it's we're spreading love through the love of music. But in my heart, it's the love of God through the love of music, because
Right.
we really want to get that message out, because I always, all the time I'm talking about how much everyone out there is dealing with, either, through the pandemic, through just life in general, whether it's, because a lot of us have dealt with depression. And I say a lot of us, because I know I was included, and you go through parts in your life that are just difficult to deal with. And sometimes we don't have anyone there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, and it's so sad. So that's the main reason we wanted to create this environment so we could have a place where you could come on and share your music, spread some love and joy. And I know that's what you're going to do. I'm so thrilled to have you here, Crystal.
Thank you so
Well,
much.
first and
Go ahead,
foremost,
Jerry.
Crystal, let's get this so that Carolyn can put this up for us.
Yes.
How do we find you? I mean, I know you're on several different platforms, but give us somewhere to go to find that.
Yeah. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. It's the username is Crystoria Music. Crystoria Music. I'm
going to put that up on the screen for just a second.
I'm like,
Oops, I'm sorry, I pushed the wrong button. I know that. Be careful. I'm that good. I may just astound you with my abilities. Okay, here, let's try this. I use the same picture, Crystal, because I only had those few pictures.
No, you're fine.
So let's try that again. Oh, here we go. There
you go.
Crystoria. There you go. So just in case you want, you need to spell it. There it is right there, CrystoriaMusic.com. And you don't even have to put the HTTP. I found that out because I am one of those, okay, of the generation. I want to just go, okay, CrystoriaMusic.com. I found it. Oh my God, it's a miracle. So you can find her just like that. You don't even have to put all the T's and the dots, okay, y'all? Make it
automatically
easier.
does it for you, Carolyn.
Yeah, it really does. So we'll put that back up later. Go ahead, Jerry.
Oh no, I want to make sure that people have access to be able to get to and follow what she's doing, because she's doing. And the thing is, with her, it's not going to be long before there's something else out.
I know.
Something else out. And talking about something else out, we've got about a month now before you have something else coming up for other songwriters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's called a transition. I'm trying to transition.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm scared. I'm like, wait a minute. Where's my notes? Yes, I did print them out, Crystoria. Now I got it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. See this, Paul? This was the first sheet of notes. We can do away with that one now. We're on to the second.
You forgot to tell me that. Okay, we're going to the second sheet. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I am now following you on TikTok.
Yes. Oh, good. Paul is following you on TikTok.
Yeah, you got as a social media coach, Crystoria is just absolutely wonderful. And matter of fact, we were talking today, she and I, about how I'm going to try to put these things to use that she taught me. Because yes, I am proud to say that I am a student of her very first class.
Yeah,
and
I bet.
And I have to tell you, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to take any of your thunder.
No, you're fine.
But I am just so proud, because one of the things about her course that came through for me is the fact that it didn't take us very long to figure out this is not just a normal course. And everyone within that group became really tight, really fast, like a family.
Nice.
And anytime somebody had something going on, they were sharing it. We were praying for each other. I mean, it just really was amazing. And I have never been a believer that you can make friends through Facebook.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. Okay. I have made some really close friends through social media, and it's just been a godsend. I'm sorry, but she's doing it again. She's got another course coming up, and about, I don't want to quote the date because I don't know it, but it's about a month from now, right?
the end of April, we're going to be launching another 8-week course. And yeah,
and that's for the social media, right?
That's for social media.
I definitely am thinking about that if you have openings, because I am lacking. Okay, I'm lacking on everything. Absolutely, you can. Hey, Tammy, how are you doing? Beautiful. Do what, Paul? Yeah, you need that for your book. Maybe we should all get together and have our family join your family, and then,
because
I need all the help I could get.
I can't sell water to a thirsty man in the desert.
Yes. Do what, Crystoria?
I said I'll say this. It's geared towards songwriters, but if you are like an author or something, I am very open to letting you guys take part. It's just plugging in whatever you're doing. When I say the word songwriter, you're gonna put author.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Yeah, and I am a songwriter, and I'm in the process finally, after all these years of trying to get my songs, but because it just God's timing, honestly. I do literally say that. I'm like, okay, I better do this now, because time is a ticking. It's not like we live forever. So absolutely. Yeah, we definitely will check into that and talk about that. Jerry, what else did you want to talk about real quick? I know you have, I see the notes, but I don't want to take any words out of your mouth.
No, that is fine. I mean, really, when you look at Crystoria, she's kind of Crystoria. I'd say your main genre is pop. Is that what you would say? Although I've heard you in other genres, and I'm finding, if you would talk a little bit about how Christian music is, it's not in a box kind of thing,
right.
and how you have gone through and developed and became where you're at now, between being a social media coach, a singer, songwriter. I know you're involved with some pretty big names out of Nashville doing Christian songs.
That's so awesome.
Christian social networking. But if you would kind of tell us how that came about, and what do you see in the future? Yeah. And I know that's not exactly the way it was worded on my
I was like, wait a minute, Jerry, you're going off script. I'm always off script. I am the worst script follower. If I have to read something, it's probably, go ahead.
All right.
Anyway.
So I will start off with this. I grew up around country music. My dad was an independent country artist. We would go down in Nashville and stuff. So like country was everything to me. When I was 11 years old, I was playing like Sugarland on my guitar and stuff. And like, that was just me. We did karaoke and stuff, and I would be singing, all the regular country music. So I envisioned when I was a kid, I'm like, I'm going to be this big country singer in Nashville, and then when I was like 15, 16 years old, God really just started like tugging at my heart. And I remember like having this moment, because I was writing a lot. I was writing a lot of music just in my spare time, in my private life. I really wasn't singing them out, but I just remember God like tugging at me and saying like, I want you to glorify me through this song. I immediately like went into this mode, like, what does that mean? What does that even look like? Because so I literally would like turn on the Christian radio station. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm not used to this style. Like, this is not me. Like, oh my goodness. And I immediately like went into like this mode of like, I can't do that. Like that's not me. I'm used to singing like, I don't know, like Gretchen Wilson.
Yeah. I can just imagine you. I can hear you doing country. I mean, you have that personality for that as well.
I had this twang and everything, and like that was me. And then when God started talking to me, I'm like, Lord, like, what does that even look like? And then my husband and I, we dated through high school. We got married. I, got married at 19. We have 4 kids, and I just, life kind of happened. And
it does, doesn't it?
I took a break, and we went through some really trying times. I'd say like 8 years ago, and God just really started tugging at me, like, you need to get out of piano or something. You need to start writing again, because like that was my. Like when I was a teenager, that was my journaling time. That was like, my moment of just pure joy with my writing. And so when I was going through these dark seasons, like I knew I needed to write music again. And so I just started to pour out my heart. And I remember God just kind of like in a moment of prayer, like, it's not about genre. It's not about the style. What's important is that you are glorifying me. What's important
Yes.
is that, you know, it's pleasing to me. And so I would literally just pour out my heart and vulnerability and just, you know, like, you know, almost like a prayer to God through those dark times. And so that kind of started my season of writing. And I decided to not have this, you know, decision of what kind of style I was going to write. I honestly, like, I didn't even know what style I was writing. I just wrote. And
Wow.
that's kind of, you know, where I've been. You know, I love so many different things, so many different styles of music. I love worship. I love pop. I love rock. I love country. I love folk. You know, like, there's so many different styles, but my main focus is I don't care what it ends up sounding like.
As long as it glorifies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead. I'm sorry. I have a question. I don't want to forget.
So, you know, like, I've been writing with a lot of people, and, you know, I'm not putting myself in a box saying this is the kind of stuff, right? You know, I enjoy it all. And, you know, I love, you know, there's been several times where I've done country Christian, and, you know, that kind of takes me back to my roots sometimes. And I find myself a lot of times, my personal style tends to be more pop. I have a guy that out in California that reached out, and he's having me collaborate with a hip hop song. So I'm like,
wow,
but
that's awesome.
I love, to me, it's like unity within the style.
Yes.
In the music. Because,
well, what I wanted to ask you is, because Jerry and I talked about this earlier, he was helping me because I've never had any training or anything. Honestly, I'm learning, and I've learned so much already in such a short time. And I asked him, I said, you know, like a couple of my songs, and I bet you if you know, that's your journaling time. That's the way I feel. Sometimes when you're going through your storms in life, sometimes, and I, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that God sends you those words most times. I think that. Do you ever feel that way, Crystoria? I want to call you Crystal now.
You can call me Crystal. It's fine.
Oh my God. Do you ever feel that way, to where you're just, you know, you're sitting there and you're almost like, okay, and it just comes to you because it's, and I tell my husband all the time that I'm like, well, he'll say, man, that's, you know, because I write country Christian. That's what I classify. I don't know if that's really what it is, but most of my songs, the majority of them are country Christian or red dirt country. And now that I'm realizing, you know, through all this process, but a lot of my songs, and I've asked Jerry about that, you know, do songs ever just come to you, you know? And it's like, I know, you know, when you could write a song in 10 minutes, yeah, it needs tweaking. 10 or 20 minutes where it just where you're just like, oh gosh, check this. Where'd that come from? You know?
Yeah.
I'd
say right after God started tugging me to start playing the piano, I was going through like a lot of depression, you know, like postpartum depression and all that. And I was cooking dinner at my kitchen, and I just had this moment of this melody and these words just hit me hard, and I just started weeping, and it was these lyrics. It was you are God's masterpiece, oh so precious, don't let anyone else make you feel less. But so, like, it was these words of just, you know, like, you know, I don't know, speaking over me, speaking life over me, helping me see who I am in Christ. And I immediately, like, ran to my piano. I'm like, I gotta write this. And it was like a testimony. My testimony being put out in the song. I had that. Pretty much the whole song was done in like 10, 20 minutes. But my dinner was burnt.
Yeah, your dinner was burnt. I bet it was. Wow. But how cool is that?
I gotta get it down.
Yes.
And I remember that song got me through some of the hardest times for like 6 months. I literally just continued to play this one specific song just because of how powerful it had been to me. And I remember just feeling like, okay, God, you are healing me through this. But not only did I sense he was going to heal me, but basically that my writing would heal, that he would use it to heal others as well.
Absolutely. Wow.
I just really got inspired to like keep pressing forward. You know, I knew I had a long ways to go with my vocals and with my writing skill and everything, but that was a moment of just this push forward to go after it.
Wow.
So in other words, you had this warm feeling that came to you from the head down through the toes, and it had to flow out of you. I think we talked about that earlier today, didn't we?
We sure did. Actually, Crystal,
I think that's called the Holy Spirit's coming over you.
Literally, I told Jerry of an experience I had, and I don't tell many people really, but I guess I am now. When I was dealing with something, same thing. It just was the same thing, and we talked about it. And I said, and that is when my life kind of just, I don't know, when you experience something like that, you're not the same. It touches you, doesn't it? It just makes you. I feel like a song or lyrics can change your life. Tammy, you are absolutely right. And by the way, welcome, beautiful Tammy. She's such a beautiful person. She's always here supporting us, all of our wonderful viewers and listeners. Thank you for being here.
Which, if you think about going through a storm and coming out of it and how that storm changes you for the better, and this is what's called a segue, Paul, that's how you come into, you could almost call it a beautiful storm.
No, that is so weird. That's so weird. That just happens to be the title. Let me make sure. Yes, it is the title. I know we need a drum roll. Oh,
I can't.
Me either. Me either. I've tried some. It just sounds ridiculous. Folks,
Jerry just got too excited about trying to tell me what a segue is.
Because it was pretty cool. That was good, Jerry.
Paul,
that was good, Jerry.
You have picked on you picked on Carolyn about doing segues.
It's so funny because I'm always like, oh, that was a good.
Okay, Paul, I'm helping you out here. Look, here we go.
Because when I watched Jimmy Fallon, which I haven't watched him in a long time, I've been so busy, but I used to, all the talk shows, I would watch the way they segue, and I never in a million years thought I'd actually be doing it. So now I'm like, oh my God, that was perfect. I didn't even try. It was just, I'm just a natural.
It's awesome how you were talking about creating the song, because today, matter of fact, today I am trying my hand out writing a song. No, check this out. We were driving from the hospital after seeing the babies, right? And then as we're driving on the highway, I looked over my left and I see a dust devil, a dirt devil flying, and it was going through the crop, right? And all of a sudden, this thing just hit me, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I started. So in my head, I'm going through it, and I laughed.
You got me thinking about a dust devil now in your brain.
I'm looking at Crystal,
Storms of life,
and I'm like, "Hey, do you want to co-write a song with me?" And she looked at me, and she's like, "You don't have any credibility in writing songs." Because and the reason why she says that, because Carolyn knows what kind of songs I like to write.
Never mind.
Yeah.
So, but the Dust Devils.
So I had this idea.
Good idea already. I'm already like, oh crap, Paul. Why didn't you tell me that? Now I'm not going to be the focus.
Funny, because I'm like, she's like, no, I know how your brain works, and no, you have no credibility in writing songs. I'm like, no, you're gonna want to hear this, because I had this great idea. I got home, I wrote like a whole page of just the whole thing, and I'm writing, and I already have this whole story lined out. I just got to figure out.
That's how it starts.
It is.
Yeah,
Wow.
So my first thing at writing
Hey.
because of meeting all the songwriters and stuff.
I know.
This idea.
Well, I'm going to offer it. I'm going to offer, Paul, if you need help formatting it and fitting it into a song, let me help, because I would love that. I mean, I'm not going to change anything, but I could say, hey, well, let's put that there. And oh my God, I'm already excited about the Dust Devil. You're so smart, Paul.
Just wait. It gets so much better. But
I'm
anyway,
already thinking, God,
I don't want to take away from Crystoria here.
I
was just saying that I understand. It's crazy, because that's how I write my books too. Is I get an idea, I go for it, I just write.
There's not going to be any fairies in the song, right?
There could be.
No fairies.
Okay, then we're good. We're good.
Just kidding. I love that idea. I do love that idea, Paul. I really, I can hear that in my head, and the way I'm automatically perciving it.
Did you see how Paul stole that segue from a beautiful storm into dust devils, little dust storms?
I love it. I love it. I love both of them. Well, Paul has a dust devil. Crystal has a beautiful storm. Are we ready to play this first song, honey?
I think so.
Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready, Crystoria? Crystoria? Ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. I mean that. And like I said, I did listen to some of the songs. Even though I helped you with it, I did not listen to the whole song on purpose. I was like, okay, I'm walking away, because I want to be just as surprised as you guys are. Okay. So get ready, folks. Get your tissues ready just in case you need them. Tammy said, let's go. I'm ready, Tammy. I know you are, baby. All right. So without further ado, this is your brand. This has just been released. How long ago?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
My most recent single. Yes.
Most recent single. Let me make sure I get the right one. Let's pray I don't mess up. Stand by. Okay, this is Crystoria with Beautiful Storm. Hold on.
Bye, Carolyn. She pushed the wrong button.
I'm so sorry. My program froze up as soon as I said, "Here's the song." It froze up. Sorry. Did I disappear or
You
was it
did.
just?
Yeah, you were gone.
I was like, really? See, that's God trying to keep us from playing it. Hold on a minute. I cannot believe that as soon as I said it. Okay. I hope all of our viewers, I hope you come back, Tammy. Everybody come back. Y'all are still here. Here we
Yeah,
go.
everybody's here.
It was
You
just
just
me.
went away. Yeah.
See? Story of my life. Just kidding. Okay, here we go. Beautiful storm. Now I'm in the right corner. That's hilarious. Here we go.
Your spirit like the wind, it carries me. Your voice, it calms the waves and stills the sea. I know your love is strong, but I feel so weak. I'm on my knees. Help me to see. It's a beautiful storm. Your mercy crashes over me. It's a beautiful storm. Your goodness meets my every need. I know that your love is the anchor holding me. This beautiful storm. This beautiful storm. Through every single high and every low, your faithful hands have always brought me home. No, I won't let this fear take control. I surrender. I'm letting go. It's a beautiful storm. Your mercy crashes over me. It's a beautiful storm. Your goodness meets my every need. I know that your love is the anchor holding me in this beautiful storm. In this beautiful storm. I can trust you when I'm running out of hope, when I'm standing on the edge of the unknown. I can trust you. A beautiful storm. Your mercy crashes over me. It's a beautiful storm. Your goodness meets my every need. It's a beautiful storm. Your mercy crashes over me. It's a beautiful storm. Your goodness meets my every need. I know that your love is the anchor holding me in this beautiful storm. In this beautiful storm.
Oh my goodness. Oh, That was such a beautiful song, Crystal. Oh my gosh. Such a beautiful song.
So it is easy to see how Crystoria recently won the award for Best New Female Artist for 2021 for the Music Award ceremony at the Foundations of Faith World Convention hosted by WVIU Web Radio. Yes, I read that because
Yay.
I wouldn't be able to remember it
Yeah,
all.
it's too much to
But
remember.
Yeah,
Congratulations, Crystal.
awesome.
Gosh.
Yeah.
What a beautiful song. That is
We have
just,
an award winner on our show.
we sure do. And I am beyond thrilled. I really am.
Oh, thank you
Gosh,
so much.
that I can't even imagine how thrilled you must have been. Did you know, or was it a complete surprise that, like, did you have to go to award ceremony? I guess, obviously.
Yeah, so I remember back in I think August, I had received a email stating that I was nominated,
Right.
um, and I was just like, "What?" So of course, I'm putting it out there and everything, and
Right.
I started seeing all of the support. Now I'm in Ohio, and the award ceremony was happening in Alabama, and at first I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna
Yeah.
be able to do this. I started seeing like the flooding of the support, and I'm like,
Wow, right. Because of all the
do I
things
have
you've
a
done to
chance
help.
at this? And then I remembered the host. She called me. She's like, "Are you coming?" And I'm like, "I feel like I should be there." So,
Wow.
yeah, I
So,
think you should too. So my husband and I, we decided to take a 12-hour drive in the middle of the night. Made it there that morning.
oh my gosh. Because you didn't think there was any way you were going to win this. Why would they? Yeah.
No,
Because
I'm brand new at this.
yes. Well, yeah, because probably you're so focused on others, you don't even think about yours. I guess I would think, right? You're like, well, what? I didn't really do much. I'm just doing everything and anything. Or I just think that's amazing. Wow, congratulations. That must have been a very amazing moment in your life, huh?
Yes, it was.
Gosh, dang, that's really exciting. Congratulations. I can't even imagine how neat that would have been. I love that song. What a beautiful song. And Tammy said, beautiful voice. Sarah said, nice. I see how everybody has paired. I like the way we have this option of pairing now, Jerry. That way, I guess pair Jerry Bradley. That means it's on your page.
yeah,
And you have it on yours, Paul, too, right?
Correct.
You paired it. See, they have this new thing, Crystal, where they can pair it. I don't understand anything about that.
in fact, there is a Linda Bradley Davis that said beautiful song explanation point. I wonder who that is.
Nice. See, I can't see all of those. I'm so sorry. Ever since I
That
disappeared, it's not been the same.
it's my older sister. She came on
Oh,
tonight.
nice. So
Thank you.
Tammy says, I hear the soulful voice in you, Crystoria.
Aw, thank you so
Oh,
much.
I know, so sweet. Very lovely voice, Diana. There is our dear viewer, Diana Dukes Daniels. Thank you for coming back, Diana. It really is nice to have you. I believe that she is the aunt of David Key, if I'm not mistaken. I've talked to so many people now, I can't remember.
There is
She came,
so many people that's
I
been on
know,
there,
it's so great.
and all the people that are associated with them that actually come back. It's that
Yes.
whole like a root in a tree system. It's like everything's connected and ready to go. Yeah,
I know, and I love that, don't you, Paul? It's so nice. I
Yes.
appreciate you coming back, Diana. I noticed her coming on and supporting us, and I love that. I really do. That's the whole point. I want our family to continue to grow so we can reach more people and have a larger audience for you amazing guys. Oh my gosh.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
in a beautiful storm, the motivation is, a lot of times I ask you, we'll ask people what their inspiration is. Well,
Right.
with a beautiful storm, it's apparent,
Yeah.
right within the lyrics.
To me it is too, yeah.
And we're kind of, we kind of let the cat out of the bag as we talked about a beautiful storm and how you go through it and this actually becomes better. But you also have a couple of more songs that we're going to do tonight. I think You're the Living Water and Breathe.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are the inspiration that came for those songs? And tell us a little bit about those songs, if you would.
For the new ones that we're going to be talking about. So like You're the Living Water. I believe the idea came to me at the beginning of the pandemic, back in 2020. It was right after, so like I had been preparing to, I don't know, start writing music for like several years. I'd say like 5 years up until 2020, but I just never really got serious with it until God was like, you need to quit everything that you're doing and just I'm going to do something. And I had a business and everything that was pretty successful online. And I just felt like I was supposed to let it go. And there was this
Wow.
moment of like, I don't know what you're doing, God. Like, I'm just going to trust you. And it was scary. I tried to go like a different route for a little bit. And then I realized quickly, I'm like, no, like he just wants me to completely just let
Yes.
it. And at the same time, the COVID had just came out. My kids went into a school, like school shut down and everything. And I just remember like having this moment of like, God, like this is overwhelming, but I know that you are enough. And I remember just reading the scriptures about how like he is our living water and that with him, he is enough. And so I knew immediately, like, I'm like, I have to like write a song about this. And it wasn't until the following year that I actually connected with my producer and him and I decided to take on that challenge and complete the song. So that was You're the Living Water. Breathe came through a very similar time. It was in August after, the beginning of the pandemic, August of 2020. And I just remember just being frustrated with everything, like the world was and everything. And, if you'll hear it in the song, but it's, there's some talk about the devil. And, I'm like, I was frustrated. I'm like, Lord, like, why are we letting this happen?
Uh-huh.
And, basically God just kind of like reassured me. He's like, just breathe. It's
Just
okay.
breathe. I love that.
Breathe, it's all good. And
wow.
that's where that song. So a lot of it, a lot of the early songs came through that time because that's when he really propelled me into my songwriting. I remember just thinking like the pandemic seemed like such a negative thing, but for me, personally, the pandemic was the catalyst that pressed me forward.
Funny. It's funny that you say that because one of the good things about this pandemic that I've actually heard from several people, is it allowed them to become more creative and actually think about things deeply and create.
That's what I was going to say, Paul. Something like that.
And it's crazy that because of something bad like that, good things happen from it.
So much good came out of
it. There's the beautiful storm.
Yeah. Amen.
It's true.
It is.
I did it again, Jerry. I did it again.
Good job, Paul.
It is so true though, because like I think even creatively as a songwriter, sometimes it the best songs come from a place of vulnerability, and I think so many of us we had to get into a place.
Most of them do, I think.
We were locked down, we were in our homes, we were dealing with a lot of crud, and I think a lot of us had to just take a pause, and I think there was a lot of powerful songs that were coming out, just that were just very heartfelt. And I will say, even career-wise, songwriter, like so many people were writing in the songwriter rooms versus now, like co-writing virtually is huge.
It is.
And
a lot of good has come out of it because people are continuing the trends. We were talking about that the other day, my husband and I. A lot of the stuff that started during the pandemic, he was saying they're going to keep doing it probably. And I said, yeah, probably. Like the curbside, for example, completely unrelated, but similar. You know what I mean?
That is an example that happened that whenever that first happened, the curbside, I'm like, oh, they're not going to get rid of this. It's so popular and I use it all the time.
And and there's a lot, but what I love is, like you said, you have all these people that are at home and they're already creative, but they just did not have the time to focus on that. And when you don't have anything else to do, anywhere else to go, you quickly realize, wait a minute, this is an opportunity. And I think a lot of people are taking advantage of that. A lot of your creative poets and songwriters and even artists, because they're at home. It's like, okay, how can I make this work? So I think that's great. I really do. And that
I
part,
kind of missed out on that, unfortunately, because I worked during the pandemic. I didn't have a break. I didn't sit down and I was go.
Yeah, and I did too, because we both work. I work in the public, so
it's not fair, is it, Paul?
No, it's not.
It makes
And
it hard.
I've got a quote for you later on during the
Oh
show.
yeah, we got to talk about that. That was a good quote. That was a really good quote.
Can I ask a question real quick? What's the next? I should know this, but what's the next song in the queue, and can you change it?
The next song that I have is "Breathe," but we can go
Breathe.
to.
Okay, no. I want to give a little testimony here, and Carolyn knows this. Some of this, I've had a lot going on recently, and between family matters and stuff that's happening with the spouse, and with the health issues with me and everything. And anyway, it all kind of came down to the other day when I had finally, when we had a bunch of doctor's appointments and things, and it turned out that everything's going to be fine. And
Praise
like,
God.
I had a heart attack in December, and I'm beating at my heart's pumping, I should say, not beating, but pumping at low normal in my upper and normal in my lower, which it was not there in December. I mean,
Awesome.
and there's a lot of scar tissue. But anyway, the point I was trying to make, which I'm really going all the way around the block to get home, is the fact that I told Carolyn, I feel like I can finally exhale. And it was right after that, I went on and I pulled your song out. Woo. Breathe. And it was like, yeah, that's that, because I remembered the song, and it was like, and I went back and it just spoke to me.
Yeah.
So, and it's funny because you wrote that sometime back, but it's still so relevant, and so maybe that's the best segue I can give you is, a little testimony.
Absolutely. And all of us deal with so much, and music can reach out and helps anyone when they're going through a hard time. And God bless you, Jerry. I'm so glad that it helped you. I can't wait for everyone here to hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's play Crystoria's second song. Listen very closely to the lyrics. This is Breathe.
I'll breathe in, I'll breathe out. That's about all I can do in the midst of this mess. To stay calm, holding on, praying to the one above, 'cause he knows what's going on. Oh, I'm not a perfect soul, but it's easy to look around and see there's something wrong. Oh, the devil wants to play the wolf and deceive the Robin Hoods, just trying to make it home. We see fear, we hear hate, but it's a vicious horizon war, trying to tear it apart, breaking hearts, wrecking faith. But it's the business he's been in for all of these years. But behind the devil's old disguise, there's a liar, there's a thief trying to shatter our very lives. And no matter how much they try, there's a God who's standing strong in a battle that's been won. For every soul, and even in this crazy mess, he's preparing for time to call his people home. So breathe in and breathe out. It's time that we look up and know who's got our back through the rough, through the tough. He's bringing peace to every mess if we allow him to do the rest.
Oh my goodness, Crystal!
Wow, I'm sitting here listening to this, and I'm blown away because you hear violin, you have an organ, you have a piano, and I swear there's a flute in there somewhere. Is there a flute?
There's
Oh,
a
the
saxophone.
saxophone.
You know what? I think there might be a flute. So, yeah.
But I mean, I'm just like, there's
Wow.
so many different types of instruments used in the song, but it's not overly used.
No.
It's like at the perfect spot. It's like, and you hear, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I don't know.
God,
sorry.
yeah.
Very incredible person.
No, that's okay, Crystal. That is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like you were singing it directly to me, and I know it wasn't just for me. You know what I mean? That's how I felt. And I know I'm pretty confident that everybody was listening would feel the same way, because we all get to those moments when we just need to take a breathe in, breathe out. I got you. I got you. Basically, I got you. Don't forget, don't forget. Just calm down. Gosh, that's beautiful. And obviously that came to you at a time when you were struggling yourself. And we all go through things like that. Gosh, that is, whew, man, that's gorgeous. I really love that. Jerry, what do you got to say? I know Jerry already talked about it, but
Yeah, no, and I really do want to go back to something real quick because we kind of breezed over it. But for your
Okay.
next course that you have coming up, how do people get in contact with you? How do people sign up for it?
Yeah.
Or
So, yeah, I have a 8-week social media course for songwriters, geared towards Christian writers. That'll be opening up next month. And you can apply at www.crystoriamusic.com. And
I'm going to put this up again.
In the menu, once you go there, there is a part on the menu that says Songwriter Social. And that will take you to the actual place to click and apply and learn more information.
Awesome. See there, Jerry, I even put a picture with words. I'm moving on up.
And on time too. Bam.
I know. I'm getting too good. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to give myself a raise. Sorry, Crystal. I'm just joking. I joke around a lot. If I don't joke, something's wrong.
You're good.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that song.
Do you have any releases planned for this year?
I have a couple that I am in hopes of releasing soon. God's timing.
I don't know. I mean, I know you worked on one song a little bit, and it talks about, I don't want to give it away or anything, but kind of talks about desperate and desperation, and I don't know. I thought that was a pretty good song. How did that come about? I mean, I don't. Yes, I'm trying to sucker you into answering this question.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a segue, and I'm trying to get in his head. I'm like, what is he doing? I got to get the button ready, Paul. Hold on. Freaking me out over here. Okay, go ahead.
Jerry took part in a co-write long ago, and that was actually one that I get a lot of inspiration through psalming, which is basically I open up the scriptures and I go to the Psalms and I literally just start singing them, and then little bits and pieces will start like sticking out to me, and like basically a whole new song will be inspired. And I just had this little chorus that I started singing, and I had shared it into a group that I'm involved in, and Jerry was part of it, and he's like, I could, help you out with that. And, another friend of mine, she had reached out. So we're like, let's work on this song together. And it was really fun. I really enjoyed putting that together with you, Jerry.
I had an absolute blast. It was so much fun.
Yeah.
What amazed me,
I believe,
it was what amazed me is how quick we were done.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just boom, boom. And literally, I would, so I think of something, I try to write it down. I would get a line and Crystal would have a whole verse complete.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just coming out of you, girl, coming out of you. Wow.
Okay.
That's
or
amazing.
I'd say, hey, how about this? And Crystal said, that's great. Let's do this. And then again, another verse, boom, or here's the chorus. And I am just sitting back.
You're like, was I the co-writer or just the co-talker? You were the writer, he was the talker.
No, you added.
Oh, I know he did. But gosh, you're that quick. Because inspiration, when it hits you, you got to run with it, right, Crystal?
Yeah.
Gosh.
I would say there are times where I co-write, and they say an average co-write's like 3 hours.
Yeah.
But there are many times where it's like, okay, we got halfway through. Let's revisit this like in a couple weeks. But there are several times, especially recent, it seems like I've been getting a lot of songs finished within the within the 3-hour, 2-hour mark.
Wow, that's
What
amazing.
that
It really
means.
is.
God's been good.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
plus
I'll tell you another.
you had the inspiration of Jerry and whoever else was there, because you feed off of that y'all inspire each other, obviously,
And she can create a melody out of thin air
Oh,
in a
wow.
heartbeat. It's just like, wow,
Wow.
where did that come from? And she's one of her strong suits is definitely melody.
Wow.
She'll come up with, if you can throw out some words at her and she'll turn that into a melody.
Yeah, she's
in,
like, wait, I got this. Okay, hold
yeah.
on. No. What a
And
minute. It
that
was
was
just
something that took me a while to figure out. I'm involved with a group called Writing Worship that Chrissy Nordhoff out of Nashville. She works for Integrity Music. She has this big ministry for songwriters. And her big thing is learning your songwriting personality. And she has this big test that you go through and you find out, like, okay, what kind of songwriter are you? And for a while it would say lyrics and then it would say structure. And I'm like, but as I actively co-wrote more and more and more, I found out that I was melody. And like, the nice thing is when you know your personality, when you know like what is your strong suit, when you go into like a co-write, like I might search for like, okay, I need so-and-so because they're more with lyrics and I need this person because they're more, into like production or structure.
wow.
And so what happens is when you come together as a group, now you've got this really good foundation and it really helps get the song going faster.
Yeah.
And then you're able to focus on the stuff that you are more natural at. Like I'm not a lyric person. I am more melody and concept. Like I can come up with an idea and I can come up with a melody, but like lyrics wise, I'm like, you're great at that. Let's, you can do that part.
No, I love that because you know who has what your strong points are in the group. That is a great idea. So it's almost like, okay, I got my part. Okay, here's my part. And you put all those parts together and you come up with a beautifully completed project. I love that, the way that goes. That sounds like a great idea to me.
Although
It sounds like
go
the
ahead,
Disney
go ahead.
Pixar create station where they have like multiple people in the room.
Yeah.
And they just kind of throw ideas at each other, and then you have one person being able to yeah, that's exactly what that
It
sounds
kind
like.
of sounds like it, doesn't it, Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow,
but
that's amazing.
I argue with her every time though about when she says that her strong suit's not lyrics, because she can come up with some amazing, beautiful lyrics.
Yeah. Did you write the lyrics to those songs we just heard?
Groove was something I completely did all by myself.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Okay, so she
so
can't
you are,
really
young
say.
lady, you are wrong. I don't want to say you're wrong, but guess what? You're wrong. Your strong suit is melody, music, singing, playing. Your strong suit is all of those. Just don't put yourself in a box. God, if that was not good, I don't know what good was. Somebody give me the new definition because I'm completely confused. I think you're excellent. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get your other song, okay? Because I want them to hear some more. Unless you have something else you need to say, Jerry or Paul, anybody?
No.
I would try to come up with an awesome segue, but I don't know.
Yes, I'm trying to think. Hold on. Because I'm getting really thirsty and I need a drink of water.
Just thinking that.
Were you?
So I need a glass of water or something.
This is not water.
So
oh my gosh, I'm alive again. Yeah. So don't drink hot coffee fast. Okay. So through a straw, why am I doing this to myself? Brett's like, it's coffee. I'm like, sorry. I gotta be quiet. You gotta sip quietly. So this song is called Beautiful Storm. No, wait, You Are the Living Waters. You're the Living Waters. That was Beautiful Storm. I
think we can call this a beautiful mess, is what we can.
What a beautiful mess. Yes.
That used to be my hashtag. I used to call myself Beautiful Mess Mom. So like, I mean,
see? It's like I knew. We are kindred spirits, Crystal. Okay, here's You're a beautiful mess, right? Okay. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got that. I can't see it. You're the living waters. See,
you're being serious.
Yes.
You're being serious.
Yeah, you're the living waters. Yeah.
No, not that one. I'm talking about
the other one. The other one. It's too many words in my head and they get jumbled up sometimes. My brain's like, what? You're the what? I'm the who? What? Where? Oh, but it's okay.
Just play the song. Yeah.
Yes. Here we go. Here's You're the Living Waters by Crystal.
As I try keep rising, I'm trying to survive. Thirsting for something to keep on alive. You are the answer that I need to find. Rushing river flow deep inside my soul. Let your stream of life pour down on me. You're more than enough. For the ones that search, you satisfy. That's all I need to know. The living water. The living water. There's a new storm raging inside of me, but I won't give in to the enemy. 'Cause I have the promise only your love brings. Let your river flow deep inside my soul. Let your stream of life pour down on me. You're more than enough. For the ones that search, you satisfy. That's all I need to know. The living water. The living water. The living water. The living water. Deep inside my soul. Let your stream of life pour down on me. You're more than enough. Oh, oh. For the ones that search, you satisfy. That's all I need to know. You're the living water. Living water. Let your stream of life pour down on me. You're more than enough. For the ones that search, you satisfy. That's all I need to know. Let your stream of life pour down on me. You're more than enough.
Wow. Wow. I got trigger happy with the button. Oh my gosh. Crystal, again, I don't know how you got them to do that with your voice, but I have my headphones on and it sounds like you're over here in this ear going, just singing it right to me. That was so beautiful. I mean, I can't even describe it. Your voice is so cool, so beautiful and cool. I mean, I don't know how to describe it. It's so relaxing and peaceful and just beautiful. Gosh. Girl, you are. Well, obviously she's good. We only have the best on Carolyn's Corner Live. But I love that song. It was so beautiful. Gosh, you know what I was picturing? I was picturing this being played in a church and people just putting their hands up and praising when they're hearing it. That's what I think. I really do feel, I don't know if you saw me, but I was like, yeah, like that's what it feels like. You're my living water.
Playing, Carolyn.
Do what, Paul?
We can't see you when the song's playing.
I know. That's why I did it.
So you had to hide behind the song?
I was behind the song going, oh yeah. And I saw Jerry over there drumming. We were doing all kinds of cool stuff.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could see me when I
can see you.
Water into my cup, and try to do that, but no one ever said anything about it. So I'm like, I guess no one got it.
I got it. I was actually, I'm like, man, if I had a water bottle right now, I'd be drinking it. Like,
when did you do that? What did you do, Paul?
He poured his living water into his cup from his bottle.
You didn't. Oh my Lord!
What
I was busy dancing.
pro-life water? Is that what that is?
We'll
I didn't
say
even
it was
see it.
pro-life.
I was busy dancing and praising. I don't know. I only have eyes to look one way. I can't focus. I'm just too focus.
You didn't know you were going to have so much fun tonight, did you, Crystal?
No, I didn't.
Crystal, we have so much fun. And
Nice.
that is why the main reason I wanted to start this, and I love doing it, because I figure if we cannot have fun and laugh, I want this to be a place where you can just come here and be comfortable, laugh a little, because we're regular people. We just, well, about as regular as you can get. I just saw Sean on here. Sean's on. Sean was on yesterday. Hi, Sean. I hope you're still here. I don't see anyone saying anything. I guess they got tired of talking to me. Sean, welcome. Can somebody say something? We want to make sure our comments are still working.
Yeah, they're going different. I mean, sounds Rita Curley, Rita, Rhea. Yeah.
Rhea.
Dana,
hi, Rhea. Well, Rhea. Hi.
Dana Dukes. Oops, she popped away.
Oh,
Sean
I see.
Yes'm.
You're making me really feel old. Okay, I know I am old, but thank you for being
Dana
polite.
Dukes Daniel. Yeah,
hi, yes.
Very lovely voice.
Yes.
But it's funny. Yeah, they're coming up on different Facebook.
I know. So thank you. So I want to take a moment. I see this beautiful lady by the name of Rhea Curley. Are y'all familiar with her name?
No.
Oh. Well, I happened to not find her. I saw her on the songwriting group and she expressed interest. And I went and listened to her songs. And let me tell you, yes, Rhea, thank you. She said, beautiful song and performance. This woman's voice is outstanding. And I am super excited. I think I have the right lady. If not, Rhea, I'm so sorry. If not, you just became a singer-songwriter, Rhea. So many people. I'm not even kidding. I'm like, I think that's the one. I'm good.
Talking about songwriters.
Yeah, I guess she is, because she said thanks. Thank God. Woo.
Yeah. Talking about songwriters, I work with a lot of new, well, I won't say a lot. I work with some new songwriters.
Yes.
I mean, as in they haven't written any songs.
Right.
If you had to give one piece of advice to a new songwriter, what would that advice be?
Me?
Yeah.
I thought he was asking me. I was going to say.
No, it's you. It's you.
You're the guest.
Yeah. I was saying, give me the advice.
Crystal, I'm not kidding. I was trying to come up with an answer. Well, first of all, I would tell them to find a group like I found.
Jerry, we're on the same page here.
So when I first started songwriting, I got intimidated really easily by other people. I got involved with like songwriting groups on social media, on Facebook and everything. And I would see these people that were like releasing music and they were doing co-writes and they were doing this and they were doing that. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, I'm like, I don't belong here. I immediately like got into this place of like feeling like I was a fraud.
Amen, sister.
We need to own up. Own that title of being a songwriter. Like I truly
thank you, Rhea. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
That the gifts that we have, if you if you've been writing music for some, like me since the time I was 11, and it just will not go away. It doesn't matter how hard it just keeps coming back.
Yes.
There's a reason for that. And so like when I would be in these groups, like I got so intimidated, but something kept me there. And I know that there are probably many people that go into those groups and probably leave as quick as they came. But I started just looking, and I'm like, these people are moms. They're they're wives. They're busy working people.
Yes.
Like they're everyday people. They're nobody. They're not any different.
Yeah.
Self than you, than Jerry, than Paul.
Yeah.
Like
we're all just people.
And so that it was something I really had to just change my mindset and be like, if they are able, I am able. We all started somewhere. We all had our first co-write. We all had our first, time, releasing a song or pitching a song or whatever. Right. So really like not let intimidation get to you and stay focused on you. There are people out there that are willing to help you. And
yes.
I think that was the most beautiful thing that I found about the songwriting community is, especially like once I got into co-writing and everything, people are there. They're willing to help each other and build each other up because they were there. They were once there too.
Yeah. And
So,
I feel kind of I'm exactly feel honestly the same exact way you do. I joined a group years ago. I mean 20 years ago, Crystal. And I stayed on it for a little bit, but I had such low self-confidence. I didn't think anything I did was good ever. And so I would same thing, exactly the same thing. It's the truth. And if I would have just it was just I guess it was just wasn't the time. But
Yeah.
they weren't like these groups now, the amazing groups I belong to. These people are just I don't know, I feel like I fit in there here. You know what I mean?
Well, I
It
have
is
to
a
say
different.
something, Carolyn,
Yes.
that a lot of people may not know about Carolyn, and everyone sort of needs to know, especially what Crystoria just said. Seeing Carolyn, 10 years ago when I first met her, and then I see her now, the confidence boost that this woman has in oh
Oh,
my, I she's like a complete different person. She's able to do. She would have never taken something this big on ever. And then
yeah.
if she would have been freaking out. Well, she does freak out every once in a while. She
A
does
little
have a
bit.
freak out. And see, we live in the same town, so we're able to go to each other's
Yeah.
houses and talk and hang out and talk about stuff like this, which this whole thing came about. But to see where she's come from till now, it's like I am so proud of my friend
Oh, thank you,
for
Paul.
having that ability. And then exactly what Crystoria said is the fact that you're just a regular person. The
Yeah.
people that wrote those songs are just regular people.
Yeah.
They
No
just
one's
happen
above
to
anyone. Yeah.
they happen to be in the right place, the right time, talking to the right people, and they
Yeah.
knew what to do. And then that's how they become these big stars. And
It's
that's
true.
what I hope everyone understands, that you can do anything you put your mind to.
Eh,
You want to do it, just do it.
Yes, and we as a group, that's why this is so important because I see all these beautiful people coming on here, that are so talented, but no one is above anyone. We're all just regular people. In the end of the day, we all breathe, we all live, we all die. And if we can all come together as a community and just have a place, that's why I love this so much, where we can just come on and say, look, here's another great singer. Let's support her. You know what I mean? You may not even need that support, but it's nice for you to come on. I appreciate you coming here so
Yes.
much. I really do, because you're doing amazing, astounding things with your life, and you're affecting others and you're helping people along the way. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
It's about helping each other and spreading that love, spreading love through the joy of music. That's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do it, by doing this.
And
And
I remember when I first met Carolyn, though. I mean, because she put on Sandy's page, she put a song out there, and then I kind of contacted her. So I really liked this song, and it was kind of fun, and we talked about it. I talked about it a little bit. I gave her some feedback, and then she
Yeah.
came back. She was kind of like,
my
really?
first time I posted a song on that group, the
And
first
she
time I
goes,
ever,
she's like, really? You like it?
yeah, I
Like,
couldn't believe it. I was like,
like-
oh God.
there's somebody who likes it, and it was like,
Yeah.
you don't know how good you are,
And it's so funny is that when I'm assuming you're talking about Toys in Heaven.
Yeah, it was the first
Okay.
one. That's the one.
So she's played it live at different venues or whatever a long time ago, when she first put it out there, and sometimes, and you have people coming up to her, man, that was an awesome song, but it's like she never believed it. She never, and I don't know if it was just the fact that it was Beeville, like a small community.
No,
and
it's because of my
and
self-confidence.
I know a lot of it has to do with that, but all of a sudden it's like other people like Jerry, Charlene
Yeah.
Sharice Carver, saying, and in the production industry, y'all know what y'all are doing,
Yeah.
and
It gives you
for
that validation
it
that
does
after
give
all
you
these years,
validation.
because I wrote
Now,
that
I
song
can
what,
say it all
30
day long, but who am I? I'm just
Yeah.
her friend
Well,
that is expected to.
yeah, exactly. And that's it, because no one ever wants to tell you the real truth. You know what I mean? And when you hear
Right.
it from someone that's doing it and having a little bit of success, and it's like from somebody like, really, it is, I always thought it was good, but I'm like, no, it's not that good. So it's just validation, and having this show, and
sometimes you just have to reboot the whole situation.
yes,
you know?
you do, Jerry. I know what he's getting at. I know what he's
you
getting
did
at.
there.
I love that. Very good, Jerry. Good
Another
segue. I
segue.
love it. Yay.
He's like
So,
the king of segues.
Yeah, so let me so Sean said the song will tell you what it wants if you listen. Absolutely, Sean. And then he said, no matter what stage you're at, everyone has been at that same place at one point. Absolutely. And Rhea, thank you so much for your kind comments. She said, love your voice and song. She's talking to Crystoria. Well, thank you, Ria. It was the Ricola. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I don't take Ricola because I've got a long story about that. Believe me. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Don't even, we'll tell that story because it's hilarious. Not tonight, maybe. Crystoria, she loves your voice and songs. Love your show, Carolyn. Ria, thank you so much. I know you're a busy lady, but I am so anxiously waiting for you to be available. She said, yes, it's me. Thank goodness I was right because there's, quite often I'm very wrong. So I'm like, oh boy, here. Oh, I'm always messing up. If there's a way to mess up, it's going to be me doing it. Mm-hmm. So Crystal, I hope that you do not have to rush off. Do you have to go somewhere?
I am perfectly fine to stay around.
I'm so glad
because we put input.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't want to just cut you off, but I know if I keep talking, we could be here all night because I could sit here all night and just talk. Boy, that's the truth.
Yeah, we have a 3-hour radio show that we do together, and that
yes, and that reminds me,
and that's Crystal, not even enough time.
There's not even enough. So if you would like me to, I would love to play your songs on my radio show.
Oh, that'd be great.
Awesome. And I don't know because I don't want to put too many on one Monday. I may put them on the following Monday, which is April, whatever that is, because I've already got like 4 songwriters to play. So I'm like, maybe we should just split it up.
Got a little behind with the football games or
the football game, and then absolutely, and then every time we turn around, there's something. But I'll let you know for sure. I don't think it's going to be the 28th. I think I'm going to put you and Jerry in a separate little because I don't want to get, and I want to be able to focus. You know what I mean, on you guys and let everybody hear you real good without being rushed.
And then we can actually talk about them without them actually being here face to face.
That's going to be weird. I don't know if I can do that. It's weird, and I wish
we could talk about his segues.
Yeah, my biggest thing is I wish we could do the radio show just like we're doing this, where it goes to all these different channels. We have tried everything, and there's interference in the radio station, I guess, and it will not let us. The only thing we're able to pull off successfully is Facebook Live. Mm-hmm. So we're on Facebook Live, and then the radio station, you can live stream it. So keep that in mind, Crystal. But if we could do it with all these places where it's going, where we're 15 places at once, don't you know? For some reason, I'm like, you know what? I don't care what I look like. I don't care about my quadruple chin. We're doing a video tonight.
Yeah.
So, folks, I'm thrilled. First of all, Crystal, hang out, please. Crystal, don't go anywhere. She's going to be talking to us. We have another great guest tonight. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but this is crazy. This man is so multi-talented. He's like, what? He is now going to be our guest. So from now on, Jerry, after right now, you can't ask any questions. No questions.
Okay.
You can ask questions to himself.
Wait a minute. Watch. I'm putting him in the grading room. We're going to introduce you. Hold on. Okay, so we're putting Jerry in the waiting room. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so glad y'all are with us tonight for part B. You know what? We're going to start doing that, Jerry. Welcome to part B. I have an idea. We'll talk about it later.
You can't talk to Jerry. He's in the back room.
Yeah, he's in the waiting room. I know.
Here.
We have a guest. No, excuse me. It's not the waiting room. It's the green room. That's not
the green room.
And it has no snacks. No snacks, no TV, no nothing. So our next guest is he's in the green room. It's blue. It's a blue room. Okay, our room is blue.
So basically that room is also called the BYOS. Bring your own snack.
Yes. I was scared where you were going with that.
Why are you scared about what I'm going to? You are just like
because I've known Paul for so many years. He's so funny.
You're just like Crystal. You have no faith.
Bring your own socks. What were you going to say? So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we have a gentleman that you may know, may or may not know. He's made his rounds around Carolyn's Corner Live. Let's bring him out. Without further ado, let's welcome Jerry Bradley. Sean said not even a radio.
Oh my God, I can't believe you've actually joined us on this wonderful show.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here.
Jerry, it's an honor to have you. You're a man of the world.
Especially being beside, such a famous singer as Crystoria. I am just honored.
Well, we only pair the best possible pairings. We did a lot of very, very extensive research and discovered that her songwriting and singing compared to your stories and songwriting and singing would match perfectly, and you would just meld on the screen.
It would be cohesive.
Yes, cohesiveness. Thank you, Paul. That's why Paul is an author. He gets to use the big words. So the later it gets, the sillier I get. Welcome back to Carolyn's Corner Live. This is segment B with our second guest tonight, Mr. Jerry Bradley. Welcome, Jerry.
We're on the precipice.
Oh, no, touch that. Oh, no. So we had a special word last week. What was it again?
Precipice.
Oh my God. And I said, that sounds terrible, but it's actually a real word. It's a long story. We'll talk about it later. So Jerry, they like to use these really big words and intimidate me and then I have to look it up. I'm like, I don't want to say that. It's like me trying to speak Spanish. It is not good. Let me tell you, it always ends up bad. Always. Welcome to Carolyn's Corner Live, Jerry.
Hi.
Hi.
It's so exciting to be here that I've ran Paul off. I mean, I saw him just a second ago stick his head through what looked like a curtain, but
Well, Paul is now a grandpa of twins, so no telling what happened to him. His wife may have come and drug him out of the room for all I know.
My wife used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Anytime the babies needed, poopy diapers.
It's like your turn. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Jerry, I'm really glad that you're here. I am glad that you are here just in general. I'm glad that you're here with us. I'm glad that you're here on this earth doing what you're doing. And I mean that. You are helping so many people, changing a lot of people's lives. Rhea says she has to run, but so great to tune in. Thanks for the great music and show. You're welcome, Rhea. You can come back and finish watching this whenever. Just click on the picture. Thank you, beautiful. Keep in touch. What was I saying? I have a very short train of thought. It's a little tiny train, one of those little tiny trains.
You were talking about how wonderful I am.
Yes, yes. He's so wonderful.
I got the notes. See,
yes.
Is that in the notes?
Wait, let me look. According to the notes, Jerry is very, very wonderful. He's a man of the world. You're making me laugh, Jerry. Stop it. So Jerry is not only a songwriter, he is also a singer. First of all, he's a Christian songwriter. He's a singer, a guitarist, a producer, and he is the founder of Free Lyric Videos for Christian Music Ministry. Wow. Jerry, do you have time to even sleep? I know. You're a busy man. Plus today, I will tell you, he helped me some more with my songwriting because I've never had any formal lessons and he's trying to help me. God bless him. He's just awesome. Hey, Melba, how are you? We're just introducing our, our second guest.
I'm glad you brought that up, though.
Yes,
I really am, because to be truthful in my answer, the answer is no. I don't have enough time. And
no, I don't think so.
And that's, and as much as I regret it, one of the things I have to do is I have to pull away from this show. Doing it twice a week, and being up kind of late, and then have to get up and go to rehab and do everything. And then we had a goal. A couple of people are in this goal with me to have everything done and finished by the first quarter of this year. Well, we didn't make it. We didn't make it. The heart attack didn't help things, but we didn't make it. And
tell them what your goal was. What was your goal?
Well, right now what we're doing is, as you said, I've got the free lyric videos for Christian Music Ministry we've been working on, which means that you not only do the songs, produce the songs, you put together simple lyric videos. And I like to keep them simple because these are for congregational singing to a certain extent. So you don't want to get real fancy. In other words, everything should support the sermon. It shouldn't be the other way around. The sermon doesn't support the song.
Excuse me. Hold on. I've got to exit for a second. I'll be right back. Back.
That's all right. I can keep talking. So and so we I'm putting together these lyric videos, which is going on YouTube, and the YouTube channel is the same thing, Free Lyric Videos for Christian Music Ministry. You can find me if you look for me, but that's where these are being collected at. And after we get that done, then we'll do the web page, and then we'll turn around with these same songs and we'll put it through. Oh my gosh, help me out. What is that called? DistroKid.
DistroKid. Yes. I put that up on the screen so people can see it and write it down real quickly. I'm sorry to block everybody's face.
And then from there, we're going to launch and try to get it out to as many different churches and ministries as we can. I used to do a lot of youth ministry, and having music to work with youth ministry is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Having a song. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize that most of the churches pay for the lyric videos that they use in church. If you have a church that uses a lyric video, they're paying for that.
Yeah.
right?
That's
And
sad. I wouldn't think they would have to pay for it, but yeah.
well, I mean, I understand it. I mean, if you wanted to bring Crystal's video in and it was downloaded, Crystal's going to get, 2
Well,
cents or
true,
whatever,
true. Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
but but there's so many churches that are barely keeping the doors open because of
Yes.
COVID.
Well, that's what I was thinking because, they don't, I don't know if I don't know how they're classified as far as their funding. It's mostly parishioner support, right? People support, I would guess, that get them
Yeah,
keep
and
their
when
doors
you
open.
when you don't have people coming to church because they're afraid they're going to get
True.
sick, and I mean, I used to play at a church. Matter of fact, this is kind of funny because it wasn't my church. I say my church; it's not the church that my religious church that I go to. I actually used to go to 3 different churches on Sunday.
Wow.
One was mine that I went to worship, and the other 2 was to play.
Okay.
And then what
Wow.
happened? Yeah, so what came about with COVID is that, well, we had to shut the church down. In fact, the pastor stepped aside and said, "Look, I'm going to go in and retire because you don't need to pay me to sit on my butt and do nothing."
Right.
So we wound up having to shut the church down because of COVID. Because I'd say a good 50% of the people in that church were of the age of 60 plus.
Yeah.
And who's the most vulnerable for COVID?
The elderly. Yeah. Elderly or immune compromised.
And so what I did is I started getting requests from members of the church saying, "Hey, I really missed your music and I missed your songs," because the pastor would let me play my songs a lot of times.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
And so they really missed it. I said, "Well, I came up with this idea. I'm going to do some YouTube videos," and it was just me and a guitar. And then that grew into, "No, you need to do better than this." And to, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, and I kind of got this feeling, and when I say this feeling, God kind of let me know, no, this is where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I wasn't a whole lot of choice about it. You're going, after I had like 4 different people tell me you need to go in that direction, I kind of went, "Lord, I got it. Okay, give me some time," because the way I feel about it is that if you're going to do anything, whether it's poetry or songwriting or whatever, you should probably learn as much as you can about it. So that's when I started delving deep into my songs and, okay, are they formatted right? Are they right? Do I need to change? Do I need to add a bridge? Do I need to do different things?
Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. I'll be right back.
Okay. And so anyway, that's how the concept came all about. And I took this on as a 2-year project. We're over 2 years, and she's getting after her hubby. I hear it. Brett, turn that down.
Oh my goodness! And leave it up to Carolyn to try to interrupt something. That's her forte. That's her forte. She loves interrupting people.
So that's the whole story in a nutshell. But and I do Christian music, but I have to tell you, I'm still crusty around the edges. I'm pretty old and crusty. I did 30 years in the military, and Paul was talking about how unfair things were. I know Carolyn has a favorite quote of mine sitting at her fingertips.
Oh yeah, would you like me to do the honors, or do you want to do it?
Why don't you share that with Paul?
I thought it was great. So, Paul, how does that sound better now? Do we have a lot less feedback in the background, sir?
Yeah, it's like your microphone changed for some reason. I don't know.
I think Brett is watching on the big screen in the living room, and I think he had it up loud.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully that's better. I asked him to turn it down. So let me find it because I thought it was
I cannot wait to hear this quote.
Yeah, it's really great. Let me just find it. Hold on.
Anything to pick on.
I love it. So
I'm gonna be like a Charlie Brown song. Why is everybody always picking on me?
I know, but it makes the show fun when we.
Oh yes, I love it.
So this is a quote from your father. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
It is. He's told it to me more than once. That's
okay,
sure.
Awesome. So this is the quote: "When the doctor pulled you from your mother's womb and smacked you on your ass so you would take your first breath of life, you should have figured out right then and there life wasn't always going to be fair." Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
You did not whine to my daddy.
So let me see what we got here. So I want to read these real quick. These are very important. So my husband, who is in the other room, he's our best supporter. He's our number one fan. He's on the big screen. He gets to see even my pores. Poor man. That's why they call him pores. Brett said, Jerry, we are really going to miss you on the show. You were a great asset with your expertise and knowledge. That will surely be missed. Hope you can come back on the show whenever possible. How beautiful. Thank you, Brett. That's absolutely true. And Diana Dukes Daniel said, I did live Facebook sing-alongs with my keyboard on Sunday afternoons for 34 straight weeks during the pandemic. Oh my gosh. That's great, Diana. Oh my gosh, 34 straight weeks. So you were Facebook sing-alongs. I love it. I bet you brought so much joy to people. I hope you're still doing that occasionally. Okay, go ahead, Jerry. Thank you for sharing that, Diana.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was, and that's where we get to the part in the notes where it goes back to the interviewer to keep talking to the interviewee.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I've got the questions. I can go ahead and ask myself.
So Jerry, tell us that.
Oh, no, don't forget to do this, Jerry. You got to do this first. So, Jerry, what really inspired you to do that? Then you got to come over here and you're like, oh, I don't know.
That would be great. So, Jerry, you are a retired Chief Master Sergeant, and you served over 30 years in the Air Force, correct?
Right.
Okay,
absolutely.
I'm going right down the line. And you are a disabled veteran injured in Iraq. Thank you so much for your service. You're a poet, a pretty good Christian songwriter. I like the way. Pretty good. You're pretty good. You're married to your wife, Laura, with 3 children and 11 grandchildren.
Yep.
Wow. What a busy man. And you have time for all of this stuff.
First, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say first, tell us where we can find your work. Is most of it on your YouTube channel?
Everything right now, everything is on YouTube. Okay, right now. I don't have it. I don't have it on iTunes or Spotify. Like I said, we will get there. But we're really trying to focus on getting the videos right first and building it, then getting the website up and then getting everything pushed out. Because what we don't want to do is say, oh, I've got this one song that's on, like most singers do. Not to put down anybody else, because I'm absolutely not, but most people do is, here's my new single that's out.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm ever doing anything like that. Here's my new single. And then, you can find it on all these different places. Well, here's the Christian music ministry. Here's my ministry.
Yeah.
So I want to give you the whole ministry.
The whole package. Absolutely.
Right. I don't want to say, hey, I've got a good song for this sermon or for this ministry, and I got a song that will work with this, right? Or and then I have a song. Well, it's coming that will work with this.
Yeah, because you don't want them to say, well, when will it be here? I need that one.
Yeah.
So let me show that information real quick again. Folks, get your pen and paper ready, or pencil and paper, or crayon and paper, whatever you want to use. Here, write this down. And that is on YouTube. Do not go to Jerry Bradley and look for him. You will not find him. I found the wrong Jerry Bradley. Don't go. And I was like, oh, I like that song. And boy, talk about, again, Carolyn. He's like, that's not my song. And I'm like, oops, it's wrong, Jerry Bradley. Don't do that. Go.
And Crystal can contest to this.
I had to laugh though, Chris. I was like, oh God.
For every name that's out there, like Jerry Bradley, Jerry Bradley is a popular name, apparently. And matter of fact, there's a very famous poet in England whose name is Jerry Bradley. Yeah. I know that because I couldn't figure out why so many people in England was buying my poetry book. Then they thought that was him.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That's so funny. Well, that's just like yesterday when we had Sean, wasn't it Sean, right? If you go on to YouTube looking for Sean Christopher, you're going to see this dude that plays like Ed Sheridan. And he's like, everybody thinks I'm him. And he's like, wait a minute, you don't even. He's like, no wonder everybody was looking at my page. They thought I was like the one that was singing the Ed Sheridan song. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it's like we all need to use a completely different name. It's like, oh my God.
That's why Crystal goes by Crystoria.
Yeah, I had to, because nobody could find me on Spotify or anything. They would type in, originally I was just going by Crystal. That was my first name, but nobody could find me. So I'm like, we got to change this up. And
that was smart. And Crystoria is unique for sure. And it's something they're going to remember. It's boy, Paul, you should have told your daughter, hey, name the girl Crystoria. That would have been a cool name.
You know what? She named them, right?
Okay, I wrote it down, but I don't have it. Hold on. Tell me again. That's on the other paper. Sage and
Onyx.
Sage and Onyx. Wow.
huge.
I think they're destined to be singers and songwriters when they grow up. Ladies and gentlemen, Sage and Onyx. Da, da, da. I can hear the music, right, Paul? So get ready. You're going to be a rich great grandpa one of these days. You have a ways to wait. So, Jerry, you're not only a Christian songwriter, you're also a guitarist and a producer. Tell us about that and how all that came about. And it's 9:08. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, yeah, we're going to have to pick this up. But you know, when you put it into a nutshell, how producing came about was necessity. I mean, it cost you hundreds and thousands of dollars to get studio time. I
Yes.
couldn't afford that because
Who
everything
can?
I'm doing, I'm giving away for free. And
Yes.
so it's like, okay, how do you do this? So I had to get into uh, this thing called a DAW in this world of DAWs and there's 100 different ones of them, and which one works the best, and then how do you do that, and then doing that and learning about that, I've also been able to help some other people by
Yes.
producing, you know, and I've got some, and I have to tell you, I've got some good people in my pocket
Yeah.
that don't charge me too much,
Yeah.
but do a really good job. I mean,
Excuse
Mike
me.
Mike Fonte is out of California. He is a excellent guitar player. I mean,
Wow.
I play guitar, but this guy can play. It kind of like Crystal. Here's the melody. What can you
Yeah.
do with it?
Yeah.
And just get out of his way and
Yeah.
let him do his thing.
He's a natural.
Chris Bonner out of New York is a bass player. I've got Adam Adis out of California that does the drums. But you know, and the thing I like about Chris Bonner, and though the bass may not be very exciting, you can hear in Crystal's song that bass made a huge
Yeah.
difference
It
as
really,
they were
really
playing.
did.
And when we say bass, he can play any bass, you know, a
Wow.
4-string, 5-string, upright. He can do it
Any
all.
kind.
And so when you get that people, one of the challenges though is that when you find a really good vocalist or guitar player or any of those people, and they get good, then it's really hard to get them. I've had to
Yeah.
wait
Oh, yeah.
sometimes 2 months to get my guitar player. I call him my guitar player. A lot of people, you know, go to him, and
Yeah. Well,
and
I
that's
have
just
I
it's
have a
been
note
great.
here. Tell me a little bit real quick because I want to play your first song. Tell me a little bit
Yeah.
about. I see. Maybe you know somebody about a man by the name of Pastor Gary.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh my gosh. Pastor Gary Pastor Gary is the one that okay, the Lord may be telling me I need to do this. Pastor Gary is the one that's making sure it's happening. Okay.
He's holding
He
you
is.
accountable.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
it's like, how is this coming along? And you need to do that. Pastor Gary went through every one of my songs and figured out this song. Here's the Bible verses that could go with it. Here's the
Wow.
sermons that it could support, and the ministry subject topics that it could support. And he went through every single one of them. And he's like, and
Wow.
he's got a crew of chaplains and pastors that are waiting for us to hit the release button, and they'll start pushing it out.
Oh
But
my gosh, and it's going to help so many people because so they'll have a song that is applicable and will go along with any of those certain verses for each song. I think that's such a
and
beautiful idea.
I met Pastor Gary by being a reboot leader. Reboot being Reboot Combat Recovery.
Yes, tell us
And
about that real quick.
through Reboot Combat Recovery, Pastor Gary wanted to put on a Reboot Combat Recovery is a 12-week course. It's not it's really it brings God into the situation. And I'm going to read because I don't want to miss anything. Reboot delivers healing from trauma that actually works. In my personal experience, as go through Reboot Combat Recovery, and I went through it both as a student and as a leader. So after I did the student thing, I said, hey, I want to teach. I want to be a part of this leadership thing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
It was founded by Dr. Jenny Owens in 2011 near Fort Campbell, Kentucky. In response to the gap she saw of treatment for PTSD and TBI among active duty soldiers. Dr. Owens remains involved in overseeing the program evaluation efforts. But basically, put it in a nutshell, she was working with these people and said, we got to bring God in here because this is the only way there's going to be any healing. You know, we can throw all the psychology stuff at them. We want to, but we got to bring God because God's the only one that can heal soul. Woo, I'm getting emotional.
Yeah. It's very
Yeah.
close
so
to your
it's
heart, and absolutely understandably so, because you went through it yourself and you're still dealing with remnants of that. And
yeah, when you look at a reboot course, when people are introduced to it, they're really introduced to the redemptive heart of God, you know. And if I'm just going to say this once, and I'm not going to give you the whole speech. Without God, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's no healing without. When it comes to the soul or heart wounds, there is no healing without God.
yeah, and you definitely can say
you can
that from firsthand experience.
you can get and look. She's a doctor, okay, and she figured this out. I think we need to get, and so I get emotional about this because okay, calm down.
Calm down. I
Just
know
the
it's so
other
important to
day,
you.
just the other day, they talked about the fact that they're doing another independent study that's going to go to the different bases to figure out why the military suicide rate is so high. So every other year we have another independent study that hasn't accomplished squat, right?
Yeah. All these young men and women are dying still.
And if they ever take a look at the programs that are actually working and give them some credence and bring them in, but the thing that holds them back is that this uses God or brings them to God. We're just the catalyst. God's the healer, right? So when you look at that program, and I can't believe, it's not being pushed in the military, it's being pushed in the civilian world, but just because it's got God associated with it.
Yeah. Separation there.
Yeah,
so
we gotta have that separation.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
The song Reboot was taken from the course Reboot. So if you go through the different sections, the different verses of the song, it kind of follows along with several different chapters in the Reboot course.
Yeah, and
to demonstrate that, we'll play the Reboot song.
Yes, tonight is the premiere of Jerry's brand new song that it's been in the works for how long, Jerry? Years.
Yes,
years. It's just a great song, and it is straightforward, connected with the reboot program. It's basically the guideline for the reboot program. So without further ado, let's play that for everyone, Jerry. This is so near and dear to your heart, and I love it. When I listen to the words, it brought tears to my eyes, and it tells of what we're needing. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
And it's fun.
Yeah, it is. You did it in such a great way. Here we go. Jerry's first song, Reboot. I know you'll enjoy it.
Reboot. Reboot.
I'm gonna reboot my thinking. Gonna reboot my soul. Gonna reboot my roots now. So with the Lord I can be whole. Gonna reboot the way that my story will be told. I'm gonna give up my burdens. Gonna lay them down to rest. Gonna give them to Jesus, for only He can fix this mess. He will reboot my soul and stop the bleeding from my chest. will be free. I'm gonna reboot my thinking, gonna reboot my soul. Gonna reboot my roots now, so with the Lord I can be whole. Gonna reboot the way that my story will be told.
Wow.
The blues. I mean,
Good job. Do
that
what?
song in the blues. I mean, that
I
was
know.
like, I was
I
not
loved it.
expecting that.
I wasn't either. When I heard, I was like, this is so cool. Jerry, excellent job. What a
Thank
beautiful
you.
song. Congratulations. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. I really love that song. Why don't you tell everyone out there real quick about your supporters of that song and supporters of the cause?
Yeah, I'll tell you first and foremost, as always, God is my biggest supporter. I mean, he's my biggest force, my biggest focus. But let's get to real people. Not real people, but people. I mean, my number one supporter is my daughter Rayanne. She has, she's retired from the military now. And she just has worked with me on so many of these songs. And if you want a critic, okay, she will tell you in a heartbeat if she doesn't like something in a song, right?
Yeah, that's good though.
We have actually changed a lot of my songs. She's not doing it anymore, but when we were doing youth ministry, she would take one of my adult songs, change it all about, and say, "Hey, we've got a song for the kids this week,"
Wow.
and you're going to play it, Dad, and here you go. And I
That's
said,
so
"Wait a minute,
great.
this is my song." She said, "I know, I stole it."
It's okay when it's your baby girl. You're not going to say anything. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Okay.
But I've got Crystal has been a supporter since she's met me. She's been on board and encouraging me, and I can, at any time I can go, "Hey, Crystal, what do you think of this?" And she'll be
Yeah.
right there for me. Charisse has been huge, been a huge help to me, and talking about, okay, this needs a lift here and this needs this
Yeah.
here. In fact, she helped me with Reboot, because I was done with Reboot, and she said, "No, you're not. Yeah, you need to, add some verses, not verses, but add some, add this guitar and add that." And Charisse is amazing because she can just listen to the song and tell you what it needs. Sandy Scarborough, I've got to mention her because she's been a friend of mine. We started off when I helped found the Veterans Writing Collective, and she was a part of that, and we've been friends for years. And
Nice.
she's probably one of the first people ever hears any of my music. It's like,
Wow.
"Sandy, what do you talk of this? What do you think of it?" When it's raw, when it's at the, and then she'll hear it as it goes along. But she's another one. And she is one that's really good at criticizing or critiquing the
Yeah.
lyrics.
Nice.
And she's a wonderful poet, by the way. Gary Borker, I can't say enough about Pastor Gary. He will beat me. To keep going and keep. And it's funny because again, we didn't meet through his church, but he
Yeah.
did bring me to his church to play and said,
Yeah.
"Hey, my piano player broke her hip. Can you fill in?" And the first time I dealt with him, he brought me a whole stack of piano books and said, "Here's the songs." And I went, "This is piano. I don't play piano." I said,
Oh my
"Well,
gosh.
learn them." And it's like, no. Chris
Wow.
Bonner, Mike Forte has been really big supporters of mine, and the music. They're both musicians, and I just love them to death. Laura Harding, I have to mention a shout out to her because Laura Harding is one half, and I'm not dropping names. I really just want to show my appreciation, but she is one half of Crimson Calamity, and they are big in Nashville. They're pretty big in the country music scene. And you would think that somebody that's up there like her and like Crystal wouldn't have time to say, "Hey, yes, let me listen to that. Oh, this is what I think," and give you feedback.
Yes.
And she has always been there. I mean, we were
Wow.
kind of became friends first before we did that,
Yeah.
but she has been amazing and giving support constantly. and encouraging. You know, whether it's Jerry, you've got to do something with that song. Well, Laura, I'm trying to. That's why I want you to listen to it. You know?
Yeah.
But she's an amazing singer and songwriter in her own right. And I can spend way too much time talking about her, so we're not going to.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, I want to kind of stick with the military theme because I know we're running out of time. But we were
Unfortunately.
talking about suicide
Oh,
rate and
yes.
so forth. I think, you know, the next song that we'll play really kind of addresses. And I said, I gave myself the freedom to sing this
Mhm.
song. I'm not a great singer, but I gave myself the privilege of singing this particular song. And this again kind of goes back to my reboot roots. And so I'm not going to explain the song. I think the song can explain itself, but it's been one. Out of all the songs I've written, this one probably pulls at my heart more than any of them.
Yes. And I can see why. I can see why you're singing. Let's play this. This is called I hope I don't cry for you, Jerry. This is called Did We Really Expect War by Jerry Bradley. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Our veterans are the ones who protected all of us. They bravely fought our wars, in them we put our trust. Now they are dying more than 20 a day. But life ends by their own hands, we just hang our heads and pray. We just hang our heads and pray. Did we really expect war to leave them the same? Did we really expect war not to put their souls in pain? But with the help and the help of our Lord, their wounded souls can heal and be restored again. They are like folded flags, the white stars are all that show. Their stripes are hidden, they cannot freely flow. Their stripes are dark now, memories in their brains, tucked with horrors they have seen, sown with bloodshed, sown with pain. Sown with bloodshed, sown with pain. Did we really expect war to leave them the same? Did we really expect war not to put their souls in pain? But with the help and the help of our Lord, their wounded souls can heal and be restored again. The pain's so hard to share, they feel so all alone. Even with their closest friends or families in their home. If they unfurl their flags, they will surely fall apart. They want to keep them cased tightly wrapped around their heart. Wrapped around their heart, around their wounded heart. Did we really expect war to leave them the same? Did we really expect war not to put their souls in pain? But with the help and the help of our Lord, their wounded souls can heal and be restored. But with the help and the help of our Lord, their wounded souls can heal and be restored again.
Wow, Jerry. Whoo, that song is powerful, Jerry. It really, really is. It touched me and it made me cry when I listened to it last night. Really sat down and listened to it. That song is going to help a lot of people that are dealing with issues. Um, Diana said, "Great song, and your voice is fine. You don't give yourself enough credit." That's true, Diana. I completely agree with you. Thank you, sweetie, for that beautiful comment. Jerry, that song is just so powerful.
Yeah, it is. Speaking as a vet, that it kind
Yeah.
of hit me. It kind of hit me too.
Yes.
Because you civilians that have never been in the military, that have never been attached to the
I'm
military,
going to put that up there.
don't fully understand how it feels to go through something like that. I mean, I never actually been to war myself, but I was in Bosnia, and so I had a little bit of the experience. We had a bomb. The base was supposed to get bombed, so we had to run into a bunker. So
Just that was
just
enough, wasn't
that
it? Yeah.
alone. I mean, it's like, man, I'm in the real army. This is real,
Yeah.
But to actually hear stuff, because I hear stories that my dad is a Vietnam veteran, and I hear stories that he tells me, and that he went through PTSD. Matter of fact, he still has PTSD. He tries to cope with it. Songs. He says that he'll listen to a song and he remembers that song being played when over the helicopters and into the jungle whenever they were in there. And I could go in and tell you all kinds of stories he's told me, but I'm not going to give the gruesome details.
Yeah.
But war is hell. I mean, that's all it is. War is hell,
Yeah.
and it actually affects people, and that's why whenever people they say, thank you for your service, whatever. It actually feels really good to a service member to know that, because you don't know what that service member's been through.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about what Jerry's been through. I'm not going to get into it as well, but I know what he's kind of been through. And for him to come out of it and be who he is now is awesome.
Absolutely. And I love that word, that line about them keeping their stripes hid.
Yes.
Right. I mean, that's just beautiful, because you don't, you can say thank you all you want to a veteran, but a veteran that has been through all of those things, thank you. You can never come close. You can never ever thank them enough, because
Yeah,
for
yeah, and
basically,
and it's good. And my response almost 100% of the time now, and it took me years to find this response, was
Yeah.
always it was my honor.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service. Well, it was kind of my job.
Right. That's the exact same thing that I run into. Like, thank you for because I always wear an army hat, and I have people just randomly coming up to me and saying, thank you for your service. And I was like, I don't have the words. I mean, to me, I signed on the dotted line. I served my country.
Yeah.
I was doing a job, and it was like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
it was my honor as an awesome answer. I think I'm gonna start
Right.
using that.
Yeah.
What
absolutely.
did you think, Crystal?
I thought you did great, and just honestly, Jerry, I just want to say this. I'm so proud of you for stepping out and putting this stuff out there, because
Me
I
too.
know, like, I just knowing you back in early January and, kind of being hesitant to put all this stuff out there, and just seeing you confidently put all this stuff together and seeing it finally unfold. It's been beautiful to see, and the song and the lyrics are great.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
it's almost like you unfolding your flag,
Yes.
so we can
It's
see your
coming to
stars
fruition.
and your stripes. Yes. And Melba said, "Wow, that song had me in tears." I don't know if I said that. I am touched by it. I mean, really. And
Let me tell you a story.
excuse me.
I'm sorry, I'm not taking control here. I'm used
No,
to being
no.
a co-host, but let me
That's
tell you
all
a
right. Go ahead.
story, and then we can close out because our time has run out.
I know. I hate
But
that we're going to miss your other songs.
that's okay. But these two, I think, were the most important. And when you look at the fact that several years ago, before the pandemic, before the COVID came, my daughter and I went to a reboot trauma conference, and we were asked to sing this song. And I don't know if you know anything about. Crystal will know. If you put a capo on your guitar, it kind of sets it right there. That's where it's going to be, right? And well, I put a capo on my guitar. We were going on stage, and somewhere I knocked that capo just a little bit to where it's now. Now that capo at the very top is sitting on my 6th string, and it's that sitting right on the fret. So We go to start playing this song, and it buzzed. That first lick, that first note buzzed and threw us off. And my daughter was there singing it with me. And we literally started in the wrong key. We got back in pitch, and I stayed off of that top string the rest of the song, which was sad because I did a lot of walking, real cool licks, but I couldn't do it then so we just played it straight and we sang it. And my daughter sang harmonies. And I remember, because of the way that happened and it all went down, all I could think about is I got to get off the stage. I can't believe we came up here and started off. I hit the first note was wrong, and we started out of pitch, and we pulled it together by the time the end of the first verse.
And how many people were there, Jerry?
We had over 400 people at the conference.
That's a lot of people.
And so I was like, okay, okay, we're done. The song's done. I'm going to unplug and I'm getting off the stage, right? And we had a standing ovation. And the standing ovation was still going on when we got off the stage. And we had people hugging us and crying. Ooh, I'm getting emotional. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, really? For us? For that? I messed it up, and you're crying.
Yeah.
And
How can you
applauding.
like it when I messed up? Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with the lyrics.
Yeah.
And
The lyrics and the emotion.
that you have in it. And you can mess the song up all you want to, but just the pure message behind it, it hits people in their heart. Expect, some of those people might have service members that either committed suicide because of PTSD.
That whole conference, you have to understand, these are all leaders that have been there. They are all leaders that have been teaching this course and dealing with these veterans, right? And male, females, husbands, wives, preachers, whatever. I mean, across the spans. And, I had more people hug me and thank me, than I could shake a stick at. And my daughter was completely in tears.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it kind of goes to what I was asking Krista earlier. I said that must have been so amazing getting that award. So to me, it's almost like I could feel it, because it must have been both the worst night of your life because you messed up, but then the most gratifying night of your life because you had all 400 of these people standing. I can't even imagine that feeling, Jerry, because something you did something that affected a change in them. And you brought out, I just think that's such an incredible power to have, to be able to reach out and help someone and touch them deep in their heart, deep in their soul. And I am blessed to say I know you. I really am, because
I'll tell you, I would have never gotten on that stage without my daughter.
Yeah.
It was like, what? Sing in front of all these people?
Yeah, I'm not going to do it, right?
Rand, you're coming with me. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
You got to do the harmonies.
Y'all did it. Even if you messed up, it did it. Like Paul said, you could have messed up the whole song. It wouldn't have mattered, because you can't mess up something that heartfelt. You know what I mean? It's still going to come through. Excuse me. I think so. The feeling of that song and the lyrics are just so powerful. Both of them, both of the songs.
And this is my last night, and I'm sorry, but this is where we're going to go, and that will give me more time to do these songs and get these videos done and get it out there.
And you can be a guest back, right?
Yes, and then I can be a guest back.
That's what right. I was going to say. And
we have launched.
Yes. And I was going to say, of course, Jerry, anytime you want to come on and do a co-host episode or whatever with us, you feel like hey, I got free time, I'm bored, let me come on. You're welcome to. Just let me know. You know that. I'll send you the link. You're like family. And Crystal, I want to say the same thing for you, honestly. And I mean that. If you ever want to come on and just hang out and listen to the people we have on and kind of help encourage them, because I love your encouraging spirit. I haven't even met you in person, but I can just tell that you've got that type of energy to where you're like, okay, you did this. This was good.
Her smile itself is entrancing.
No, I know. I love it. I love it. I have had the most amazing night tonight. I really have. I always hate it when we have to leave. I do. But it's been so great. It's been entertaining. It's been a joy. It's just been humbling, and I'm honored. And I really mean that. I'm honored that you were led here to be on our show, Crystal and Jerry. And we're going to keep going as long as God lets us. I mean that literally. We're going to keep moving forward and keep having more and more singers. So keep supporting us from the shadows, even if you're in the background. Keep saying, hey, don't forget about Carolyn's Corner, because we want to give everyone, an opportunity. If we can help just in any tiny, minute way, hey, I'm all there. I want to do it.
I am actually humbled by this, because this all started just with me and Carolyn just having a conversation of like, I have an idea. and
We
her
had the
telling me
idea on
her
the same
idea.
night.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
exact same night. We had the exact same idea, except I had it with authors, she had it with singers,
It's
and
weird. It was really
yeah,
weird.
and
We
then
called
we
each other.
yeah, and then we talked about it, and it's like, man, can we actually pull something like this off? Because
Yeah.
I don't know much about it. She didn't know. I mean, I was a computer guy, but I don't know much about this. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, we're doing this, and we're meeting all these wonderful people.
Yeah.
I mean, people that I would have never met in my entire life
No.
from all over the country.
Yeah,
And then
and
we're
we-
able to pull in other people that actually local or find us on YouTube or find us on Facebook that actually gets to hear your music
Yeah.
and music that they would have never heard before
Yeah.
because they don't know how to go out and search it.
Yeah.
And
That's true too.
and they can just go back and they, I mean, I think we've already had what, 30 people on here, 20 people.
I don't,
something like
I
that?
don't really know. It feels like a
And-
lot. It probably not as many as I feel like. But I
Probably,
want to. I just like, okay, we got more. We need more. That's all I know is more.
yeah.
Well,
And-
I'm like
and here we
obsessed. I'm
are.
becoming like, okay, God, what are we gonna do now?
and
And
it's funny,
Brett's like, calm down. I'm like, no, we got to keep going, keep going.
you know, and Paul, you talk about, you know, we've had like 20 people on tonight, but what people don't know, and you can contest to this too, is the amount of people that watch the show after the show.
A lot,
Right.
yes.
I mean, it's, you know, you're in the hundreds now.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, like, social media wise, they always say like only 10% are actually watching the live,
Yeah.
and the rest comes after the fact.
Yeah, and we're even getting people in the UK that are going back and watching our show, Crystal. I want to tell you that. To me, that's thrilling. That's what? You know what I mean? They're watching us from Beeville, Texas. That's just crazy. But it's wonderful. You know, that's why we want to try to keep this positive environment, positive energy, love. You know what I mean? Just let's keep doing it. Let's keep going in that direction, you know? And as long as we keep doing that and we all come together as a big family, honestly, that's what I envision. It's going to keep growing. And
Yeah.
Jerry, you have helped us so much.
Yeah.
And I know we need to go. I hate to go. I always hate to go. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Crystoria. Keep up that good work. Anytime you have a new song out, old song out, you want to share, send it to me on Facebook. Hey, I'll share it. And I will be playing your songs on the radio. I'll message you. Probably won't be this Monday. I'll probably go ahead and play them next Monday so we don't have too many at one time.
And Crystal, hang out because we'll talk after the live is over.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we certainly do appreciate all your time. Paul, thank you so much for coming on. And congratulations on those babies. Yes, congratulations on those grandbabies. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for spending your evening with us. We love and appreciate you. And remember, as you go out into the world tomorrow on your TGIF, by the way, we have a new karaoke show tomorrow. We will be out at Christina's place in Orange Grove for those of you who are local. Love to have you. We're excited. Thank you, Diana. Good night to you, beautiful lady. Thank you for joining us. And Sarah, love you too. Everybody who's here, thank you so much. Remember to keep spreading kindness. Show some love to someone, even if it's as simple as opening the door or saying, hey, I like your shoes. Just make somebody smile if you can tomorrow and tonight. Okay, guys? That being said, good night. God bless you. And we'll see you on Monday. Actually, I'll be back on Facebook Live on Monday.
Yay!
Yes.
Me and you,
For the
right?
radio. Yes, for the radio. So make sure you tune in. Facebook Live this Monday night, 7:30 Central. We'll be live on Facebook from the radio station, Dale 107.1, where we play everything under the sun and then some, and we are the and then some. Anyway, it's a long story. You'll find out when
We
you
are
tune
the
in.
end zone.
We are the and then some. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thanks
All right,
again.
good night,
Crystal.
everybody.
Good night.